Hello everyone, I hope you are having a nice time. I'm back with the next video, Morphology of Root Canal System Part 2. Part 1 was discussed in the previous video. If you missed watching that, the link is there. You can click and watch so that you will have a better understanding of root canal system in detail. As discussed earlier, root canal system can be divided into the pulp chamber and the root canal. So in this video, I'll be focusing more on the apical portion of the root canal system. So when we zoom, we can see different structures. That is the accessory canal, the accessory foramen, apical delta, apical foramen, and the lateral canal. So what is the difference between the lateral canal and the accessory canal? Both are the branch of the main canal, but lateral canal is situated laterally and accessory canal can be present anywhere in the root canal system. Here we can see a small structure that is present in between the apical foramen and the accessory foramen, which is called as the apical delta, which resembles a small portion of land which is present in between the connection of two rivers. Talking about the apical root anatomy, we need to know three main structures, that is apical constriction, also known as minor apical diameter, cemento-dentinal junction, which is a junction between the cementum and the dentin, apical foramen, also known as major apical diameter. Besides that, we have two more structures, anatomical apex and the radiographic apex. So what is the difference between the anatomical apex and the radiographic apex? The anatomical apex is the tip or the end of the root determined morphologically, whereas the radiographic apex is the tip or the end of the root determined radiographically. It is well established that root morphology and radiographic distortion may cause the location of the radiographic apex to vary from the anatomical apex. That's why it is important to know the difference between the two. Talking about the apical constriction, as per the Cutler's description, the anatomy of root apex has the root canal tapering from the canal orifice to the apical constriction, that is also known as the minor apical diameter, and from this point it widens a bit, that is the major apical diameter or the apical foramen. The apical constriction is 0.5 to 1.5 mm coronal to the apical foramen. So this may come as an exam question. Clinical consideration of apical constriction. It is a reference point for the clinician to terminate the shaping, cleaning, and obturation. Post-treatment discomfort is greater when this area is violated by the instrument or the filling material, and the healing process may be compromised. So it's not that the apical constriction is same in all root or all tooth. So Dummer in the year 1984 classified four types of constriction. Type A, traditional or single constriction. Type B, tapering constriction. Type C, multi-constricted. And type D, parallel constriction. So let us assume we need to take the working length and we are taking 1 mm short of the apex. In that case, if the constriction is type B, it will not give the correct working length determination. If we need to take the working length determination on the basis of tactile sensation, in that case, multi-constricted type C will not give the correct working length. So from this slide, the must ask question is the type of the canal constriction based on Dummer 1984 and the clinical consideration which I discussed right now related to type B and type C. Coming to the cemento-dentinal junction, it is a point where cementum and dentin meet. The location of the CDJ in the root canal varies considerably. Here in the picture you can see the location of the CDJ is not at the same place. It is located 1 mm from the apical foramen and ranges from 0.5 to 3 mm from the anatomic apex. The cementum reaches the same level on all canal wall only in 5% of the case. Again, this is a question which can come in your exam. Apical foramen. Apical foramen is the circumference or rounded edge like a funnel or a crater that differentiates the termination of the cement canal from the exterior surface of the root. And most important thing to know is the apical foramen does not normally open at the anatomic apex, but rather is offset 0.5 to 3 mm. So here you can see the location of the apical foramen and the location of the anatomic apex. It is not at the same level. So this can come as a exam question in your MCQ based exam question. Growth of the apical foramen with age. The mean distance between the major and the minor apical diameter is 0.5 mm in young person and 0.67 mm in older individual, and the difference is due to the deposition of cementum. The diameter of the foramen is 502 micron meter in individual 18 to 25 years of age and 681 micron meter in those over 55 years age. So this is again a MCQ question for you all. Now there are certain scanning electron microscope study which say that more than one main foramen was seen in all the teeth except the palatal root of maxillary molar and the distal root of mandibular molars. The maxillary premolar had the most and the largest accessory foramina. So in the picture you can see in one root we can have more than one foramina, or we can see a large foramina or multiple foramina in same tooth. Few facts on cemento-dentinal junction, apical foramen and apical constriction. Primary dentinal tubules are found less often than in the coronal dentin and more irregular in direction and density. The reduction in the dentinal tubules in this region leads to reduced chances of bacterial invasion into the dentinal wall of the root. So, on the basis of apical constriction, cemento-dentinal junction, and apical foramen, it is very difficult to determine the working length and do the cleaning and shaping on the basis of that. So, Wins gave certain modification or recommendation in which it says that if there is no bone or a root resorption, it is a normal case, you can do the preparation 1 mm short of the apex. If only bone is resolved, 1.5 mm from the apex, and when bone and root both are resolved, 2 mm from the apex. So this can again come as a MCQ question in the exam. Now talking about the isthmus. What is isthmus? It is basically a small connection between the two larger portions of the land. So in dentistry, it is like small ribbon-like connection or communication between the two root canal that contains pulp or pulpily derived structures. So while doing the cleaning and shaping, we need to clean those structures also for having the better prognosis. So isthmus was classified by King and colleague. So Kim classified basically 5 types of isthmus. Type 1, that is incomplete isthmus. Type 2, complete isthmus between the two canal. Type 3, very short complete isthmus between the two canal. Type 4, complete or incomplete isthmus between 3 or more canals, you can see in the picture. And type 5, 2 or 3 canal opening without visible connections. And one more MCQ which can come is like, isthmus are found in 15% of the anterior teeth. And on the location of the tooth, it has its varied presentation on the basis of length. For example, if we cut the tooth in 1 mm, we can get some amount of isthmus. Up to 4 mm, we can get some amount of isthmus in different tooth. Now coming to the clinical tips. Radiographic apex is the reliable reference point for having the favorable prognosis. When we terminate at the apical constriction, we can have a favorable prognosis. When we extend beyond the apical constriction, we will have a worse prognosis. And second worst prognosis is when we are 2 mm short of the apical constriction while doing the cleaning and shaping. So although I have discussed the MCQ in between the slides and the must ask question or most probable question which can come in the exam in between the slide, but I have a key points to remember for you. That is, the apical constriction is 0.5 to 1.5 mm coronal to the apical foramen. The cemento-dentinal junction is located approximately 1 mm from the apical foramen and ranges from 0.5 to 3 mm from the anatomic apex. The mean distance between the major and the minor apical diameter is 0.5 mm in young person and 0.67 mm in older individual. The maxillary premolar had the most and the largest accessory foramen on the basis of scanning electron microscope study. Primary dentinal tubules are found less often than in the coronal dentin and more irregular in direction and density. And you have to remember Dummer classification and classification of isthmus by Kim. Now, this is a question for all. This is a clinical judgment you need to do. If you need to determine the working length in mesial and distal root, how will you determine and what will be your termination point for cleaning and shipping? The hint is remember the Wien's recommendation and try to solve it and write it in the comment section. And if you have any question, if you have any suggestions, you can write in the comment section so that I'll be answering that. In next video, I'll be talking on some facts and some other chapters related to endodontics. So get tuned. Thank you very much.